What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, I wanted to make this a part of a video that I've done speaking about, Canelo, and people also responded with different perspectives of how they view what Canelo has said. And one of the things that a guy was saying, from Punch Drunk Boxing, he was speaking and giving his, views on, he doesn't agree with what Canelo was saying. Zerto Ramirez doesn't agree with what Canelo was saying. Okay, and we're going to hear from Andy Ruiz. And you also hear me say, you know, um, and one of those videos where I'm saying, you know, Punch Drunk Boxing is saying, and I think it's really just to give him the benefit of the doubt to be nice. And he's saying that Canelo maybe feels like he's taking the opportunity away from other Mexicans. Like, no. Like I said, this is how fighters reward each other, right? You fight each other. And in fact, you're helping them to get opportunity. For where you stand, first off, you might lose, right? And I said, I think it's more of a competitive thing. Because like people always say, you get two Mexicans in there, they're going to go to war, right? It's going to be a tough fight. And that's more the route of what I see. This whole, I don't want to damage my people. I don't want to take opportunity from them. They're not going to get that same light that you get. And in fact, if you look at a guy like Benavidez, who is basically the best fighter, considered to be the best fighter at 168. That's the fight that everybody wants to see at 168. So pretty much, if you're not going to try to unify the division, like you already the champion at 168. You understand? But let's say, for example, if you go up to 175, you understand what I'm saying? And then let's say, if let's say, for example, if you was to fight Better BF and win, let's say if you was to fight, bottom line, let's just say if he wants to unify the division at 175. What if Zerto Ramirez holds one of the belts? You're not going to do it then? And Punch Drunk Boxing said the same thing. You're not going to unify because one of the title holders is your countryman. And now, win, lose, or draw against a guy, especially that can give you problems, or whether you win or lose, if that guy has a good showing, regardless, he's going to make more money than he's ever made fighting against you at this point in your career. So I don't agree with it, but let's hear what Andy Ruiz had to say.
We had a chance to speak to Canelo this past Monday, and he said that he wouldn't be willing to fight Zurdo Ramirez if he beats Bivol or Benavidez because they're his countrymen, they're Mexican. How do you take that, and where do you stand in terms of giving the fans those kind of fights? Like, talking about Morales versus Barreras, they were Mexican, but they always gave us great fights. Where do you stand?
Because fighting a Mexican and a Mexican is hard because we know these Mexicans are not going to give up. So fighting two Mexicans, best believe there's going to be a war. There's going to be all action fight. We all take hits and we all receive them good, and we could take punches. So that's why it goes back and forth, and that's how it was with me and Chris Arriola. It was going back and forth, even though I got hurt, but the Mexican in me made me get back up and win the fight. So it's hard.
Canelo is the face of boxing. Is he in his right to say that, to approach things that way towards the end? It looks like this is the end of his career. Like he's getting closer towards the end. Is he in his
Canelo?
Yeah, is he right to approach the game like that? Not wanting to fight a fellow countryman?
He can fight whoever he wants. He's the main guy. He's a champion. I feel he's already on that level where he already proved so much that he doesn't even need to prove anything to anybody. I think he just wants to get the big fights, and I'm pretty sure if he fights Bivol again, I think he knows that he'll beat him.
All right, that ain't making any sense what Andy Ruiz just said, that part. Okay, if he's the face of boxing, yes. And you feel like he's gotten to the point he has nothing to prove, then basically, why are you still boxing? Floyd only does exhibitions. Okay, he's doing exhibitions. So you have nothing to prove in that sense because these fights don't even go on your fucking record. But every time Floyd fights an exhibition, people chime in just to talk and give their opinions to try and talk shit. But they chime in and they tune in to watch. But he's fighting exhibitions. Okay? You guys complained about Floyd. Oh man, Floyd handpicking you. Look, then if that's the case, Floyd, Canelo, and whoever else puts the work in, then they all got the right to sit back and cherry pick. But then he says he thinks he just wants the big fights. He doesn't have anything to prove, but he thinks he just wants the big fights. Okay, wait. Okay, the Mexican in you made you get up. Well, Bevo was not Mexican, but he pretty much outclassed and put some hurt on Canelo. So Mexican or not, it's a fight. Okay, I don't care if you from the Ukraine, if you Black American, if you white American, if you Philippine, if wherever you from. Okay, if you Japanese, you're a human being is a human being. Okay, if you got it in you, then you have it in you. Simple. But at the end of the day, you know, to say, you know, that he's in that position. See, this is where fighters become complacent. Now, listen at this guy. The interviewer is saying Canelo's coming towards the end of his career. So, like I said, if you're making an exit strategy, that's one thing. Floyd was 30 fucking 8. This man just turned 33. He's 32 or just turned 33 or whatever. Okay? So that's a 5-year difference in their ages. And I even heard people say Floyd retired too soon. He should have kept fighting. Based on what? Based on what? The man was 38. No, what they really mean is, I wish he would have kept fighting. Father Time kicks him in the ass so he could have retired with a loss on his record. That's what that really is. So that's his take on it. You heard what he said, man, because they know fighting these Mexican fighters are tough, man, and it's going to be a war and this and that. You heard what he said. And that is more of the realm I'm thinking in. More so than this, I'm trying to help people. Stop it. Stop it. You know, I remember when George Foreman fought Alex Stewart, and they was talking about how he caught Alex Stewart with a shot, and like, you know, like you had him hurt, but you know, why didn't you finish him off? I didn't want to hurt the kid, you know. Yeah, I didn't want to hurt him, you know. When he wound up hurting me, he tried to laugh at, what the fuck you mean you didn't want to hurt him? You wasn't fast enough to catch up with him and finish him off the way you didn't want to hurt him. What the fuck? This is the fight business, man. This is the hurt business. This is the hurt business. You know, you just couldn't catch up to him and finish him off at that stage in George's career. You know, he was slow as molasses. He wasn't that fast when he was kind of slow when he was young. You know, but he was slow as molasses at this point. And that was the excuse. He didn't want to hurt him. Nah, man, this is the fight business. You've seen fighters. You've seen Ali do it. You've seen Ray Leonard do it. You've seen Holmes do it. You know, different people. You've seen Lomachenko do it, where they're getting the guy, they're hitting him, and the guy's reeling. They come on, waving the ref to come stop it. They just, you know, doing enough to keep the guy buzzed, but they're, you know, holding back. That's not what George was doing. You caught him, you hurt him, and you couldn't finish him. Excuses, man. This is what I'm saying. This is the hurt business, and this is what you do. And when you know that you got a guy, the professional in you, you see it. Okay, this guy's all but gone. And they're trying to spare you that way. I get that. But overall, stop it. Stop it, man. It's not about him not wanting to hurt another Mexican so much, as far as I'm concerned. It's the fact that those are going to be some of the toughest fights that he's going to have. That's what I believe. And that's that, you know, that part of that, even let's say he have a soft spot. No. Isn't Julio Cesar Jr., Chavez Jr. Mexican? And then people, he changed his mind since then. So what? I don't want to hear that shit. But just wanted to hear Andy Ruiz's perspective. You know, the ending part didn't make any sense. I understood what he was saying and what he meant, and it just didn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. But at the end of the day, this is boxing. You punch people in the face as hard as you can. You punch people in the ribs, in the guts, in the kidneys, in their arms, their shoulders, their head, wherever. You hit them as hard as you can. You're in there to win a fight. You don't punch a person and say, "Oh, you okay?" It's a fight. So, anyways, we'll see what develops. We'll see how things go. We'll see if Canelo will change his perspective as we go forward. Fighters, you know, if anything, should start to call him out. Nobody's going to chase. I don't think anybody should put their career on hold chasing someone that doesn't want to fight them, because it's a waste of time. And Canelo showed you, if he don't want to fight you, he won't. If he don't want that fight, it's not happening. Unless, of course, you become his mandatory and he gets stripped because he don't want to fight you. But other than that, if he doesn't want to fight you, he's not going to fight you. And see, now it's so funny because now all of a sudden it's acceptable for a guy to say, to be in a position to just handpick who he wants. That if you're going to handpick who you want, then it's not the big fights that you want. That makes zero sense, because if that's the case, then you would be fighting. Win, lose, or draw, I'm fighting Bivol. Yeah, I'm going to fight Demetrius Andre. Yes, I'm going to fight Jamal Charlo. You beat guys that they would have beat as well. And look, let's say if Canelo beats Demetrius Andre and Charlo, the fights should still happen. Okay, so for me, are you not fighting them? They're not Mexican. So what's the reason for not fighting them? So if you're not going to fight them and you're not going to fight Mexican fighters, then who are you going to fight? I guarantee you right now, if someone did a poll and said, aside from Bivol, who would you want to see Canelo fight if he goes back to 175? I'm willing to guarantee you 99% of that poll would be Arthur Beterbiev. If not 100% of it. That's who everybody would want to see him fight at 175. So the thing is, we don't know if Canelo is going to stay at 168 or is he going to go back to 175, because he never said he wasn't. At the end of the fight, the last fight, he said he wanted to rematch him at 168. But, what's the difference? Because if you say you want to rematch him back at 168, and then go back to 175 to fight a lesser guy, because I'm pretty sure, you know how hard Arthur Beterbiev hits? If you couldn't beat Bivol at 175, I don't see him beating Arthur Beterbiev either. I don't even see him taking that fight. For the simple fact, the complaint was he was too small. So if he's going to fight Bivol only if he wins, but at 168, then what's the fucking purpose to going up to try to dare to be great again, to fight another guy at 175? So what happens if you lose to Arthur Beterbiev at 175? You still keep your belts in 168, then you're going to want to only fight him based on if he wins his next fight and come down to 168? Like, none of that would make any sense, right? So I don't understand what's going on right now. Basically, he has Triple G in front of him. He has to get past Triple G, which he should. He should knock Triple G out. He should destroy Triple G. Okay? I don't select who I hit in the face based on skin color. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that when he's finished with Triple G, should he win, and I believe he should. But I believe once this Triple G fight is over, you're going to get more questions about who's next. Unless he knows already who he's fighting. And if that person is not the same caliber of fighter as Bivol, or Ramirez, or Arthur Beterbiev type fighter, or Charlo, or Andre, or Benavidez, what's the purpose? And that would stem back to, he's in a position, he earned the right to pick and choose who he wants. So a guy gets paid $30+ million a fight to just fight anybody. So anyway, just wanted to get that video out too. And I'm just, different perspective that I'm hearing, but it's all the same pretty much. Like, nobody, you know what it is? It's the respect that they have for Canelo. They don't want to come out and just say, nah, that's bullshit, man. You need to get in there and fight whoever. Whoever the best fighters are in your division, that's who you need to fight. That they say it about any other fighter. And like Punch Drunk Boxing said, these people scared to lose subscribers. They're scared that all the fans are going to feel some kind of way. I really don't care, because I'm just going to speak the truth. I'm a man. I'm not a little kid that has to go along with somebody's agenda. So anyways, that's all I got for y'all right now. I will catch you guys on the next video.